Today, we're going to be factoring the difference of perfect squares. Let's write that right here. Factor in the difference, and you all know that the difference means subtraction. The difference of two perfect squares. Factor in the difference of two perfect squares. Here's an example of this one. Q squared minus 1. If you're given q squared minus 1 and you need to factorize it, what you must do is recognize that q squared is a perfect square because it's a variable with an even exponent. And of course, we all know that 1 is a perfect square. Then we're going to apply this rule. And the rule is this. You find the square root of the first perfect square, and you subtract it from it the square root of the second perfect square, put it in the parenthesis, then rewrite the same thing again, but this time you're going to put an addition sign. Square root of q squared plus 1. Now, you might ask, why does it look so complicated? It looks complicated because it's about to get very simple. First thing that we're going to do to simplify this is we are going to find the square root of q squared is going to be found easily as q because the square root symbol cancels the square. They're inverses of each other. So we end up with q, and of course the square root of 1 is 1. So we end up with q minus 1. And here we end up with the same situation where square root cancels square, leaving you with q again, and we put a plus 1. And of course, we can check afterwards to see if we get the original thing that we started with after all of this. So let's check right here, CHECK. Let's check. And when we perform the check, this is how we perform the check. We multiply, like I taught you in a previous video. We say q times q plus 1. The first q, which is the white q, multiplied by everything in the second parentheses. Then we have minus 1. And we use that to multiply everything in the second parentheses again. And let's go ahead and see what we get. Q times q is q squared. Q times positive 1 is positive q. Negative 1 times q is negative q, or negative 1q. And negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Then, of course, we are going to combine like terms. And I told you in a previous video that like terms have the same variable raised to the same exponent. And in this case, the like terms, I'm going to circle them in white. This is positive q, and this is negative q. They're additive inverses. That means they cancel out to 0 or nothing. We can draw a line through them, leaving us with what we started with, which is q squared minus 1. So we know that we are correct.